groaned, holding my stomach, squinting my eyes. I tried to sleep in, but the growls didn't let me. It was already late at night. And then it hit me. I haven't eaten anything since morning. That's why my stomach is growling. I stomped my feet angrily. The inhuman growls were pissing me off now. I checked my cupboards for snacks, chocolates or something. How come I have nothing? That lady must have eaten all my snacks. Jisoo, you're dead. Just wait what I'll do to you. I can just take a walk to the convenience store down the street. At moments like this, I feel the need of parents or maybe siblings. My parents who died in an accident and made me filthy rich but didn't bless me with a sibling. I quickly took my coat, purse and scarf, rushing outside. I took fast, careful steps and avoided all kinds of narrow streets and alleyways. It's not like I'll cross way with gangsters or something. Still, I did my best to not involve myself in any kind of unwanted mess. There were barely any people out at this hour. I danced in victory at the side of the store and pleased my stomach with 2 packs of cup noodles and few snacks. I bought more than a few snacks and other groceries so that I wouldn't have to encounter such a situation ever again, though it was thrilling and adventurous. My footstep halted when I heard gunshots. The voice pierced my ear. I'm not a scary cat, but that was frightening. I quickly turned into a street upon hearing footsteps and continued walking in that direction. Don't look back, don't look back, don't look back. I kept murmuring to no one in particular until I felt something on my arm and was pulled somewhere. I screamed, I swear I did, but it was inaudible since my mouth was covered. Shh, keep it down unless you wanna die. My chest was going in and out and I didn't realize I started tearing up at some point. I don't know why I felt the need to cry all of a sudden. I could feel someone's chest pressed against my back. It was a he, I could tell from his deep voice and toned figure. I would have been head over heels for him if we were in a different situation. I did struggle to get out of his grip, but heck, he was Hulk. When footsteps were nowhere to be heard, the strong grip on my mouth and waist loosened and I immediately jumped away. Leave, they're gone now. And kiddo, it's not sensible to stroll in such streets at this hour. Wait, he's asking me to leave? Shouldn't he kidnap me, threaten me or maybe rob me? I turned on my flashlight and gathered my things which accidentally fell out of my hands, not sparing him a glance until I noticed the red stain on his white shirt. What's that? I pointed, but he quickly covered it. Nothing, just leave. His voice low yet dominating, and that's when I looked at him, meeting his eyes. His doe eyes and plum lips with his milky skin and charming aura didn't fail to make me drool. For a moment, we stayed like that, him trying to read the deep ocean of my eyes while me analyzing his soft features. His brows crushed and he tilted his head, eyeing me as if I was an alien or something. But I was unable to read his expression. His lips parted, but he turned his head to the other side, murmuring a small, "Please leave." All of a sudden, he fell to the ground, groaning in pain, and I took quick measures too. Leave before they get here. I shook my head vigorously. You're hurt. I can't leave you alone like this. Leave! His eyes turned red for a split second, and I flinched this once, but the next moment I was unbuttoning his shirt. What are you? I am a medical student, so if you please shut up, let me check up on you. I bit my tongue before I could go further. Rummaging through my purse, I got a hand of my ID card and gave it to him. I analyzed the wound while he took his time reading it. It's a gunshot, he hummed. I need to take out the bullet and stop the bleeding ASAP. So I tilted my purse, grabbed the tweezers. He gave me a look of disbelief as if I cared. The bullet was out in the 4th attempt and I spilled a can of beer on the wound I bought earlier. Alcohol helped heal wounds faster. Wrapping my scarf around his waist, I sighed in relief. Until now, I didn't notice how much beautiful of a body he had, and my cheeks instantly turned red. I kept myself busy in picking up my stuff. Didn't your parents teach you not to involve yourself with a stranger? It could be dangerous. I don't have parents, and you seem nothing like dangerous. So, mister, I thought I saw him smirking, but he quickly put on a poker face. Jungkook, John Jungkook. Yes, Mr. John, you'll feel alright in some time, and I should be leaving now. Let's be strangers again. I was about to walk away when I heard a couple of gunshots and crouched down. We need to get out of here now. His one arm around my neck, while mine around his waist as we rushed out of the alleyway until it was a crossroad. Loud chuckles along with clicking of metals and sharp sounds of blade was heard. I looked around only to see being surrounded by not so nice looking guys with creepy smiles. What do we do now? I tried not to stutter, but at this point it would be a lie if I say I didn't feel my chest tightening and heart pounding until I heard a laughter. A laughter from beside me. I gazed at him like a lost puppy until I looked around and saw some guys in black pointing guns to not so nice looking guys. Jungkook, you alright? One of them walked over to us, having an angelic face and heavenly features, and I felt I could finally breathe. They were with us. I didn't focus much on their talk until I heard a string of gunshots and the not so nice looking guys were on the ground dead. I looked beside only to see Jungkook holding a gun and grinning like a creep, and that was the moment I knew I'm screwed. You mean clear the bodies? He said to the guy with blonde hair he was chit-chatting earlier with and diverted his attention to me. Do I seem dangerous now, huh? I stood like a statue, however, from the inside was cursing and screaming. He looked completely different person. His hand met my cheek, caressing it, tilting his head, while I interpreted everything. Kim Wayan, welcome to my world. He closed the proximity between us. His eyes seemed a lot darker than before, enough to make me tremble. His thumb brushed my lips while I stared at him blankly. You're mine. And that's when his lips came clashing into mine. For a moment, I didn't even defy him until the realization hit me. My eyes opened with a piercing sound and sharp thud, and I found myself panting hard. But all I could see was darkness. Where am I? And then it hit me all at once, like those black and white memories. My headache wasn't helping at all. And the fact I was tired was another thing. I tried to move, but I was cuffed. I tried to shake whatever was tied on my head to cover my eyes, but it won't even move. And then I stiffened upon that scent, his scent, the feeble sound of his footsteps. Don't move a lot or it will hurt. I wanted to scream curses, pull his hair out, punch him in the face. But I realized I was in no position to do that. Not now when I was tired as if I'm a wild animal, so I simply waited for him, and few moments later I felt him close, very close to me. His breath fanning my lips, his heat radiating to mine, his proximity sending shivers down my spine, his addictive scent making me weak. Don't feel too pleased, the police will find me. The caressing acting of his fingers stopped for a moment, and I felt him disclose the proximity until our lips brushed against each other. And who will report to them? Now his lips were coming closer to my ear and I could feel it. I swear I was holding in my breath the whole time. You don't have any family, and I got that crazy friend of yours. My pupils dilated when I proceeded his words and struggled to move away from him. I should be disgusted, but he keeps dominating me. Jisoo, what did you do to her? I tried to keep my voice calm, but instead came out like a shaky breath. He didn't disclose the proximity this time and simply responded, Nothing yet. I could feel the playfulness in his tone and wanted to punch him on his face so bad, but damn, it would be a pity to ruin that handsome face. Why are you holding her hostage, huh? You wanted me, so here I am. My cheeks heated a bit with his soft chuckle. Love, the world doesn't work like this. It's all give and take. Now he was again beside me, playing with my hair, and I let him. I can't stop him anyways. So, what do you want? My words calculated. You need to sign some papers, and I let her go. He tucked a few strands of hair behind my ear. What papers? He wants my property? That's none of your concern. God, this annoying man. And how would I know you let her go? If you want to make a deal, then let's do it, mister. I am a man of words. I unconsciously shivered at that. That sounded genuinely sincere. Seems like I have no choice. I spoke in a low tone. There was never one. His words were hushed, but I could make it. Then his warm breath on my face was gone for a moment, and something was placed on my lap. I can't even read it. No, love. And he handed what I felt like a pen in my right hand and directed it to the place to sign. I squinted my eyes tightly and signed without a second thought. I didn't know what would it bring, but I had a feeling my life's gonna go downhill. Lovely. I could make out that he was pleased. I'll be back, wait here. He pecked my cheek before leaving, and yes, for a moment, I did feel butterflies. But again, he's a killer for God's sake. I heard the sound of his footsteps, the thud of the door following by pure silence. I moved around a bit to know where I actually was. Something soft and furry. A bedsheet? Am I on a bed? And then the thud of the door made my whole body tremble. Why am I on a bed? What were those papers, and why am I cuffed and blindfolded? Wait, no way! His footsteps were heard and I crawled back. This psychopath seems like had planned a hot night. So he wanted my body? The next moment, I felt the bed dipping. Suddenly, a hand on my ankle, followed by a peck. What the? Did he just kiss my? And then with a single drag, I was under him. I could feel it. His body heat, his hot breath, his addictive scent. It felt like the time stopped. I was biting my lips, holding on my breath. And then, out of the blue, his face dipped in my neck and hands round my waist. My eyeballs felt they would drop out and whole body was on fire. Don't move, love, was what he said while pecking my neck. A damn hot gesture that was enough to melt me in his arms. But remember, he is the one who abducted me. Don't touch me, I breathed out, hitting what felt like his chest, and I heard him sigh. But bruh, the fact that he didn't even budge, let alone an hour, was making me feel like a chick. A hand stroked my cheek, and yes, that might have worked, cause I wasn't hitting him anymore. I was flabbergasted, but his proximity, his heat radiating in my body, and that damn scent was one step away from losing control when the blindfold was removed and a pair of eyes was right in front of mine. I would have shouted if it was someone else. But dude, his eyes were so captivating that I forgot to breathe. Instead, I squinted in the sheets down and down. He was right above me, arms on either side of me, and his breath fanning my lips. His eyes searched mine for what felt like hours, and gaze dropped where it shouldn't have, my lips. In those brief couple of seconds, I scanned his features. The doe eyes, the straight bridge of his nose, milky skin, puffed cheeks, sharp jawline, and so damn kissable lips. Like maybe I wanted to kiss them again and wanna get high. I don't know, but for once, can he just like kiss me? What am I even thinking? Why you can't kiss him? You can't, even if they are warm and kissable, and make you feel millions of butterflies and wibbly-wobbly sensation in your stomach. There was a time when I thought I was asexual, since I didn't have sexual reaction towards anyone. But now, look at me. I'm drooling over this man, a gangster, killer, and yes, a kidnapper too. And I didn't realize I was cleansing onto the shirt from his shoulders. I must have been staring like a creep at those damn lips. And he must have known, cause he came closer. His lips brushed against mine. I know what he was doing. I'm not a kindergarten kiddo after all. Yes, I let out a shaky breath when he did that. And I knew what he was gonna do. I know his eyes were asking for consent. I knew, and I blinked as if saying yes. I was and wasn't. And then in a slow, very slow, as if the time had froze, his lips engulfed mine. It was a peck, a simple, soft, brief one, and I swear I was seeing stars. I knew I was gonna regret this, but I can't help it. And then his hands cupped my face, his large, warm, soft hands on my face, his head tilted to his side as his lips again crashed onto mine. And I knew it was amazing, just enough, just perfect. I knew I was gonna hate myself for this, but I tilted my head too, giving him better access. He sucked onto my bottom lip ever so gently. It was intimidating, tempting in an unhealthy way. The way he increased pace, the way he switched patterns, and the way he parted. His chest was heaving in and out. His black hairs slightly covered his beautiful eyes. And he smiled, not that maniac one, not the psychotic one. It was a genuine smile, a smile. He rested his forehead on mine, closing his eyes, and I wasn't pushing him away, letting him do whatever he wanted. It was as if I wanted him to do things to me, which wasn't a lie. "What do you want from me?" I asked in a low voice, turning my head to the other side. He looked way too much tempting for my heart to handle. There was a silence, a long one. I turned my head back at him and realized the burning sensation on my wrist. Damn, these cuffs! As if he read through me, he wasn't on top of me anymore. Instead, he was in sitting position, uncuffing my wrist. "My body, will you let me go after using me?" The click of the cuff was heard, but he clearly looked disappointed from my question. Just before leaving the room, he murmured without looking back, "I want you." I was left alone in this huge room with these mighty curtains, fancy furniture, and loneliness. I don't realize when I was already asleep, but I remembered hearing the closing of the door and soft footsteps. I remembered my head being placed on a pillow and being covered with duet. I knew it was him. His scent said so. Gosh, this man. I opened my eyes reluctantly after switching sides for the nth time. Yeah, I was feeling hungry and my stomach growled. Yes, I was abducted, yet I was in this luxurious room. I should hate that man, but I was kinda making out with him last night. I walked over to the door and as I expected, it was locked. Anyways, I took some time enjoying the scenery and taking in the map of the mansion. Yes, a freaking mansion. I walked back to the room, plopping onto the bed trying to make my brain work. But somewhere inside, I knew I was liking this. Call it adventure or whatever. The door opened, revealing Jungkook wearing a tuxedo, perfectly kissing his stoned body with a tray in his hand. A mafia with a tray, not an everyday door though.